Hello everyone, I'm Steve from Martell Training Group. I'd like to welcome you to our video, 4 tips to keep you alive while driving. I am a retired New Jersey State Trooper, and in my 25-year career I've had many assignments. I am also a former New Jersey paramedic, so I have EMS experience as well. Our channel is dedicated to safety and security education, so if you want to be safe and more secure, you need to hit that subscribe button now and you'll be notified when we release new videos. Tip number 1, be vigilant. This applies to approaching your vehicle in your driveway as well as approaching your vehicle in a public parking lot. So when I'm walking to my vehicle from, say, my front door, when I'm far away, I can see partially underneath the car. So I'm looking underneath the car from a distance to see if I can tell if there's anything under the car. As I get closer, I'm scanning, I'm looking around, overall condition, overall scene. I'm looking to see if there's anything behind the car. I actually physically walk behind my car to see if there's anything there. A bicycle, a neighbor's cat, a child, for example. I continue my scan all the way around. I'm looking at the windows. I'm making sure none of the windows are broken. I'm also looking to see if the doors are locked or unlocked. Now, a lot of times I'll remotely unlock them, so I know they're unlocked. I also look in the windows to make sure there's no one in there waiting before I actually get in the vehicle. Once I enter the vehicle, I take a quick look around just to double check, make sure everything's okay. I lock the doors right away. Now, this isn't so important in my own driveway as it is in a public parking lot or parking garage. You want to make sure you lock the door right away as soon as you enter your vehicle, because if someone is waiting to rob you or carjack you, one of the tactics they employ is they will immediately open that door as soon as you get in your vehicle to startle you, and then they're right there. You really can't do anything about it. You're kind of caught. So if you lock that door immediately, you'll be able to start your car and drive away quickly if need be. Now, when I'm at a traffic light or stopped in traffic, I also like to be vigilant in that I conduct a simple scan. So I'll look from, say, for example, my left mirror, my rearview mirror, which is in the center, then my right mirror. And I just employ this simple scan, this simple left, middle, right, back and forth scan of my surroundings. And that way I'm aware if anyone approaches from the right, from the left, or from the rear of my vehicle. It's just situational awareness. You just want to be aware if anyone is approaching your vehicle. When you're in a public place like a public parking lot or garage, you need to be vigilant as well. As you approach your vehicle, you need to be aware of your surroundings. Take a look around, make sure there isn't anyone just lingering in the parking lot, looking around, watching you. As you approach, you should have your keys in your hand, including if you have a key fob, and you can remotely open, unlock, or start your vehicle. Now, I would recommend you not hitting that remote key fob until you are very close to your vehicle, perhaps ready to get inside. If someone is watching you, they have no idea where your vehicle is, assuming, and they'll wait till you get close to your vehicle. Now, if you hit that key fob far away, and they'll see the lights flash and they'll know, okay, that's where their vehicle is, they may try to intercept you before you get there to carjack you, to rob you, whatever. So I would hold off on hitting that key fob until you are close to your vehicle. If you don't have a remote start or remote unlock, hold those keys in your hand. Remember, keys can also be used as a weapon if need be. Again, once you get inside your vehicle in a parking lot, assuming that you've already scanned and made sure no one is in front or behind or to the side or underneath your vehicle, and you've taken a glance before getting in to make sure that, for example, the back seat is clear, there's no one in your vehicle. Once you get inside, you need to immediately lock your vehicle and start your vehicle so you can drive away quickly if need be. Another thing you can do is simply look ahead. I know it sounds basic, but when you're driving, try not to just focus on what's right in front of your vehicle. A lot of people do that. You need to do that, of course, but you also need to look ahead to anticipate what's coming down the road. So simply just looking farther ahead, if you see something you don't like, whether it's an accident, whether it's people in the road, whatever it might be, if it doesn't look right to you, you can pull over, you can make a right turn, make a left turn, make a U-turn when it's safe, and just simply not go that way. Tip number 2, always leave yourself an out. This has to do with when you're driving in traffic and also when you're stopped in traffic. So when you're driving in traffic, I'm mostly referring to tailgating. Do not tailgate. It's very dangerous. I know a lot of people do it. It's easy to do it. Everybody's in a hurry. But if you leave that distance, that safe distance, 3 to 5 car lengths at least, between your vehicle and the vehicle ahead of you, then if something happens with that vehicle in front of you, whether they get into a collision or they slam on the brakes for whatever reason, you have time to react. I've seen a lot of bad accidents happen as a result of tailgating. Avoid the urge to tailgate. If somebody pulls in front of you and they're close to your front bumper, you just slow down, back off, or change lanes. Now, when you're stopped in traffic, what I like to do is I like to be able to see the tires of the vehicle in front of me touching the pavement. So if I can see that, then I know I'm a good distance away, about a car length away from that vehicle in front of me, and then I should be able to maneuver. If that vehicle doesn't go for whatever reason, if the driver in that vehicle gets out and wants to approach my vehicle, I know, assuming that the left or right side of me is clear, I know I can maneuver away from them. Now, if you're pulled up right close to that bumper in front of you and the car behind you is pulled up to your bumper, you're kind of boxed in there. You can't do anything. You're kind of stuck. So always leave yourself an out, even when you're stopped in traffic. Also, no side-by-side driving. I see this a lot on multi-lane highways, 2-3-lane highways, where a car is driving in the middle lane, in the right lane, and one car just pulls up next to them and just is hanging out, driving side-by-side. Sometimes it's not on purpose. Sometimes people are just not paying attention. I would not recommend driving side-by-side for any length of period of time, because what happens is, obviously, if the vehicle next to you has to maneuver left or right and you're there, they're going to hit you. There's no reason to drive side by side on a multi-lane highway. Just pass the vehicle and move over, or slow down and get behind the vehicle. Tip number 3, avoid road rage. I strongly recommend not engaging anyone in road rage. I understand when you're out there driving, you're in your car, it's your personal space, and you get cut off and you believe you didn't do anything wrong, and there's a need to feel like it's natural to feel like you want to fight back. But I'm asking you not to do it. You never know who that other person is, whether or not they have a weapon. It's just not a good idea to engage in road rage. I've seen a lot of bad and even fatal accidents happen as a result of road rage. If you can avoid the situation, if you can slow down, if you can turn off at the next street to avoid the person, I would recommend doing so. If you feel like you're being followed and pursued, you can go to, if it's at nighttime, you can go to a lighted area. You can actually call 911 as a last resort if you feel like your safety or your life is in jeopardy. Some people do prefer to carry personal self-defense items, non-lethal items such as pepper spray or mace or even tasers. I would, if you're going to do that, I would recommend you check with your state or local jurisdiction to make sure whatever you do carry, it's legal to carry in your state. In New Jersey, for example, I know you can carry pepper spray or mace, but you're limited to no more than 3/4 of an ounce. That's not very much. Your state may or may not have that same restriction. Also, tasers, they are not illegal in New Jersey, meaning you can carry one, but they do come with restrictions. I will put a link in the video description below of some self-defense items that you may want to take a look at. Tip number 4, pay attention. Be careful when you're driving behind utility trucks or open bed trucks like a pickup truck, especially when they're carrying items in the back that are not secured properly. So for example, you're driving behind a utility vehicle and you see a lot of scrap metal in the back of that truck. If it's not secured, simple physics, if that truck is moving 65 miles per hour, then the lead pipe in the back is also moving at 65 miles per hour. They hit a bump, that lead pipe comes flying out, hits the pavement, and ends up coming through your windshield. It is not going to be good. I've seen fatal accidents happen because of debris that was not secured properly. So at the first opportunity, if you're behind one of these vehicles, I would change lanes or move. Distracted driving. Now, most states, if not all of them, have some law on the books about cell phone usage while driving. So resist that urge to use your cell phone. I know there are exceptions, like if you're calling an accident, if there's an emergency, you can use your cell phone. In New Jersey, they're hands-free. If you're able to use your phone hands-free, that's acceptable in certain circumstances. But you need to resist that urge. I know when you're sitting at a traffic light, you might be glancing at your phone, you might receive a text, and you start responding, and then the traffic light changes, and you figure, well, let me just finish out this text or send this email. It's very easy to do. A lot of people do it. Resist that urge, because it's very difficult, if not impossible, to drive, pay attention properly, and use your cell phone at the same time. I have to mention the move over law. That's what it's called in New Jersey. A lot of states have adopted a similar law. It may not be called the move over law in your state. In New Jersey, it's the result of the death of Trooper Mark Castellano, who died in the line of duty. He was on the side of the road on the shoulder, and he was conducting an investigation into the report of a crime, and a driver was not paying attention, veered onto the shoulder and struck Trooper Castellano, killing him. Very tragic, very sad. This law is the result of that accident, and many states have them, if not all the states. It simply means that if you see any activity on the shoulder in the right lane, whether it's a car stop, police activity, fire department, the DOT fixing the highway, a tow truck, whatever it is, you move over. If it's safe, you move over. I realize you can't always move over. It might be a last minute thing, you notice it. But this has to do with paying attention, right? So if you still can't move over, you slow down. You slow down and you get prepared to stop. You do what's called cover your brake. You move your foot from your gas pedal and you place it over your brake. And that way, if you do need to stop, all you have to do is push down on your brake. That 1 to 2 second delay for the average person to move their foot from the gas pedal to the brake, that's eliminated. Now you should be able to stop much faster if you need to. Finally, I'd like to point out that the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has released statistics that show that most fatal accidents happen within 25 miles of your home. They also pointed out that for non-fatal accidents, about 77% of all of them occur within 15 miles of your home. Now you might say this is because most of the driving that people do is close to home. While that's true, I believe that's part of the reason. I believe another part of the reason is that when you're driving on the same roads and highways all the time, every day, day in and day out, you become comfortable and it breeds complacency. So you get used to driving on these same roads with nothing happening. So you sort of get careless sometimes. And this is evident by everybody's experienced this, where you get home and you're so tired from work you don't even remember the car ride. That's because it's like you were on autopilot and you just drove home and you don't even remember the specifics of your drive home. So I think there's a certain complacency that arises from traveling the same roads day in and day out with nothing happening. And as a paramedic and trooper, I've seen some of the most horrific accidents on bright, sunny, beautiful days. I think it's because people, they're out enjoying that nice day and they forget about being careful sometimes. When it's really bad weather, when the roads are ice covered or snow covered, when it's pouring down rain, most people actually take the time, they slow down and they're careful on those days. On those bright sunny days, they're not always thinking about driving carefully, and you should be. So the next time when you're out just going down the street for a cup of coffee and it's a beautiful day and you have the windows down, just remember that you still need to be vigilant, you still need to be careful while driving. If you like this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to our channel. Again, we're all about safety and security education, so if you want to be safe and more secure, you need to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, take care, and stay safe.